That view, guys, it just never gets old. Astro is looking good in the garage. That grabber blue color, guys, something else, something else. Oh, but actually, before we get in the car, let's get you guys a cold start real quick. It's early enough and we haven't started it yet, so let's do that. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone's having a great day. Today we're gonna have more of a laid-back style video here, and we're gonna discuss kind of a topic that you know, I think might be interesting for some of you guys, especially if you're looking at purchasing a new 2024 Mustang GT, EcoBoost, whatever. And it's one option that I wish I would have gotten on the car, and that I didn't really think I needed when I ordered this car. And that option is the active exhaust. Now, I know in previous videos I've said, it's not a big deal. I don't think I care about the active exhaust. I'm gonna skip it. I think it's a $1,500 option, which is not a cheap option, but it's not that expensive either. And my reasoning for not getting this setup is that I told myself, you know what, I'm gonna end up swapping this exhaust anyway. So, you know, why spend $1,500 on an exhaust system from the factory when I'm just gonna replace it with something else anyway? And, you know, I just really kind of left it at that. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of a waste of money to do that. However, as I'm looking at, you know, aftermarket exhaust setups, I want a loud exhaust, but I live in a townhome. So if I go too loud, I'm probably gonna piss off all my neighbors, and they're not gonna like me. I'll probably wake up one night and they're gonna be surrounding me with pitchforks and all stuff. And I don't wanna go down that route with them really just yet. So my options are to go with like a more street setup, a quieter setup, or I go real loud and I definitely piss them off, but it's always loud, you know, or it's always quieter. The other thing too is that I really love the quad tip exhausts, and honestly, I don't know why Ford didn't give us quad tips on the non-active setup. They could have done it. 18 through 2023 had quad tips on the passive system and on the active system, so there's really no excuse there. But the reason I also say that this was the option that I should have gone is because I'm hearing a lot of exhaust videos out here now, guys, that people are just replacing that stock resonator in the center, and they're putting an X pipe in its place or an H pipe, and it sounds phenomenal. This is actually the setup that my buddy Chris has on his I believe it's 2022 S550 GT, and it sounds great. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good, Chris. Yeah.
That's normal mode.
Normal mode, okay.
This is track mode. This is the
track. This is the best. I think it's the perfect mix of loud, and if you want it quiet in the morning when you're leaving for work, that's awesome too. So that's definitely an option that, you know what, if I would have went active exhaust, I could have spent like, I don't know, $150, $200 and did an X pipe or H pipe, and that probably would have been the perfect setup for me. Now, that's not the case. We obviously went with the base passive exhaust system, which, you know, in hindsight, it's not a bad system. I mean, I saved $1,500 doing that option that I can put towards, excuse me, into the aftermarket setup, which is gonna be cool. So I am gonna be doing quad tips on this, guys. I'm not satisfied with the dual tips out the back. So what I'm looking at is either an 18 through 2023 axle back setup, or an 18 through 2023 cat back setup. And the two options I've really nailed it down to is going to be the MBRP Street Catback which is the most kind of affordable option. It seems like you really get a good kind of bang for your buck with that setup. And it sounds pretty good. There's quite a few clips out on YouTube of that setup. And I want to actually put some of those clips in this video here for you now. So take a listen to the MBRP Street Catback. And this is technically for the 18th through 2023, but we're going to make it work on the 2024. So let me know what you think. Not bad, right? I think it sounds good. I think it's a good kind of mix of loud when you get on it, but when you're just cruising around, it seems pretty mellow and chill, which is nice. Cold starts still seem like they're gonna be loud. I don't think there's really that much getting away from that at this point without having an active setup. So that's kind of why I was like, you know what, I should have probably went active and that would have solved all my problems here, but whatever. The other option I'm thinking about is going with a Borla S-Type axleback. Now, why an axleback? Well, the biggest thing is money. A Borla S-Type catback is around $2,000, a little bit under $2,000. And that's pretty expensive, I think, for an exhaust setup. However, they do sound pretty good. So here's what the Borla S-Type axleback sounds like. And here's a couple clips of it. Let me know what you think. Yeah, pretty good, right? Pretty good for an axleback setup. And this might be perfect. This might be the point where it's not too loud. You know, Borla does a great job with their muffler designs. Usually you don't get any drone out of them. They sound good. And the other part of this is if I go with the axleback, I have the option of doing an X pipe or an H pipe in the future if I want it louder, right? I can kind of piece this together into the system that I want if just the axleback is not enough. The other thing that actually piqued my interest was the Borla Crossfire, I believe, X pipe, which if you haven't seen this is a pretty crazy looking piece of pipe, guys. This is an X pipe and an H pipe combined in one. And that with the axleback setup actually sounds pretty incredible. So here's a couple sound clips of that. Yeah, I would love that setup, guys. My neighbors would absolutely kill me. But, you know, if that's what it comes to at the end of the day and it's the setup I want, that's probably what I'd go with. I think it'd be really interesting to piece that together and have that setup. Definitely a head turner for sure. But those are the two that I've really nailed it down to as far as being within the price range I want it to be within. You know, you could argue if I go with the axleback Borla and I buy the Crossfire, well, the Crossfire is like $500 anyway, so you're at almost $2,000, maybe a little less, $1,600 or something. But yeah, so I guess I want to hear your opinions because I've gone through this little rabbit hole of YouTube videos on what setup should I do, and I've gone in so many circles with this, I can't make up my mind. So I want you guys to put it in the comment section down below. What do you guys think I should do? Should I go with the MBRP Street? Should I go with the Borla S-Type axleback and then have the option for an H-pipe or an X-pipe down the road? let me know. I'm curious. You know, either way, I think it'll be a great option. I think it'll make the car sound fantastic. And we're gonna do the conversion by, you know, kind of dremeling out the slots here for the quad tips on the non-active car here in the rear valance. So if you guys are interested in keeping tabs on this and you know, watching this kind of progress as to what decision we make and how to convert from the dual tips to the quad tips with a base car, or a non-active car I should say, hit the subscribe button, guys. I'd love to have you along for the ride. I want to get to 10,000 subscribers here on the channel. That is my next goal. And you know, a lot of you guys that watch the channel are not subscribed. So if you guys are interested and you want to see more on the car progression, please hit the subscribe button down below and like the video if you like it. I'd be very much appreciated. So with all that being said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. You guys have a great day, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.